So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. We are one step closer. First leg done. We did what we had to do, is the perfect sentence to describe yesterday's game. The team did what they were supposed to do in the first leg. Due to the fact that it was a home, we had to win yesterday. Being a 1-0 win, being a 3-0 win, yes, changes the dynamics of the second leg. But the most important thing is that we won yesterday. I know it's a minimal win, and I know Bayer Leverkusen can turn it around, but I believe in my team, and I've always said this since day one. I believe in the lads, and I cannot even imagine how I will react if we reach to that final in Budapest, the 31st of May. In 1 week's time, we'll know. In 1 week's time, we will know if we'll be there or not. But yeah, match reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we'll speak about the game. We'll speak about players. I'll give you an update on the injuries. We'll speak about them as our opponents. So yeah, if you haven't already, smash that like button. You know what? No, like, jokes aside. If you smash that like button, you're showing appreciation to Edoardo Bove. Because that guy is something sensational. And, in fact, you know what? No. Yes, let's start with him. What a game. What a player. Yes, he scored the goal, but it's not the goal which made him... It's not the goal which made his performance light. It's the way he plays, ladies and gentlemen. He is so immense on that pitch. He's a teenager. Maybe not a teenager. He's 1 year older than a teenager. And he is so immense on that pitch. He's so immense. I'm gonna give you a comparison, which, I'm the first one to say you can't compare players at this age, because if you start comparing players at this age, then the players will end up bottling it. And that is exactly what happened with Zaniolo. Everybody started comparing him with Totti, and then look where he is now. Plays in the Turkish league. So, no, we can't hear. I can't hear. My ears cannot hear. My ears cannot go, Bove is going to be the new De Rossi, because maybe he can be that. But he cannot withstand the pressure of being called the next De Rossi right now. He's too young. And that's kind of what influences players at this age nowadays, comparing them with big names. The only player which I will compare him to right now, because of the way he plays, I'm not comparing him when it comes to strength and, who the better player is. But similarities of the way he plays, Bove is a very similar player to Barella. The way he makes himself so big on the pitch, it's very similar to what Barella does. And when Barella plays well, I think he is the best player in the league. If Barella hits his day, Barella's the best player in the league. No doubt about that. That's why Barella is the most important player in the Italian national team. And Bove will be a massive player in the Italian national team too. In fact, the next call-up, he will definitely get a call-up, 100%. Bove is a sensational player. Bove grew up in my local team. There is this team called Donorione, and it's kind of this it's this place where me and my friends normally it's this training ground where this team Donorione plays. I've got a few friends which play at Donorione. They're my local team, let's call them. They are my local team. They've got a purple kit. They look like Fiorentina. I've got a lot of friends who play at Donorione, and it's kind of the place where me and my friends rent pitches when we play football. That's where he was born. And 5 years after that, he has scored the winning goal of the first leg in a Europa League semi-final. And he has never shown something very big. Fear. He's not scared of what he does on that pitch. He's not scared of making mistakes because he takes risks. And that is what I love about him. His personality is big. And it's hard to find players who've got such a big personality nowadays. This is someone who we have to keep close to our heart. This is where the ownership has to step up and start going, no, I am not selling you Bove even if you give me X amount of money. No, he's the future of this club. I'm keeping him. Because look, if he keeps on playing like this, big offers will come. That's a fact. But that's where the ownership has to make themselves bigger and go, no, I would rather keep Bove than get 60 million euros. I'll give you an example. Great from Bove. I'm so proud of him. Another player, which, in fact, you know what? I think everybody yesterday played well. There were a few players which I liked, other than others, who played better. Another one of them is Matic, obviously. Another one of them is Cristante. Oh my God. If people, you know, I'm actually going to say this. If by the 12th of May, 2023, therefore, 2 years after starting this channel, if there are still people who criticize Cristante, you don't know anything about Bo. He, 100%, is the most fundamental player in this team. Maybe not the most fundamental, top 3 most fundamental players in the team without a single doubt. Why is he the most fundamental player in the league, in the team? First of all, he's one of the players who gets less injured. Second of all, he's such a versatile player. Third of all, he is very precise when it comes to passes and clearances. He played as a centre-back yesterday. And he's a midfielder in a Europa League semi-final, and he pocketed Diaby, he pocketed Wirtz, and he pocketed Adli when he got subbed on, and also pocketed Azmoun when he got subbed on. Fair play to Brian Cristante, and if there are still people who say Cristante is shit, I'm sorry, but your ball knowledge is very poor, because he's the mechanism of this team. He's the machine of this team. He is so important to this team. Another player which I really liked yesterday, Spinazzola. I think he kept the fast wing because that was Leverkusen's big danger. Diaby and Frimpong on the one side were very fast, and Spinazzola helped really well. He played a big part in the defensive section yesterday. Also played a big part in the offensive section. He is having a little bit of an offensive crisis, let's call it, just because his crosses lately are poor. But you know, when Spina runs and when Spina cuts in the box, there were a few players around him which can stop him, and that is why yesterday in the attack, Frimpong, he literally gave Frimpong a headache. But apart from that, I really like this defensive section. You know, it's not easy for a player who doesn't love defending, and we've seen this throughout the entire season. It's not the offensive which I liked yesterday. It's the defensive section. I think he did it really well. Ibanez played well, and he's coming from bad performances, so good. The thing with Ibanez is that you never know how he steps up in a pitch, because you see, Ibanez isn't a bad player, but Ibanez is he's got poor decision makings. So if Cristante steps up and wakes up well, Ibanez is a really good defender. Problem is, he's never consistent, and you never know how his mind woke up. So he may easily play well yesterday, and then on Thursday he might give us away the game. I don't know, but he played well yesterday. And then another player, which I have to say I really liked yesterday, is Tammy Abraham. Because you see, there's another thing about Tammy. Tammy is our striker. And what does a striker do? A striker bags the goals. And Tammy's not doing it this season. Therefore, what do? People associate Tammy Abraham with goals. And if he doesn't bag the goals, Tammy Abraham gets criticized. But what people don't see is what Tammy Abraham does apart from the goals. And I think that's the beauty of Tammy Abraham, because he is another fundamental player to this team. Because he's a player who, again, is everywhere on the pitch. And I know he is our striker, 100%. And I know he's not bagging the goals. but he's so useful to this team when it comes to an empathic level, because he's the funny guy of the group, and you always need a funny guy in the group. And he's also very fundamental when it comes to playing football, because he's everywhere. He's in the defensive section. He dribbles the ball in the midfield. He drags the team forward. So yes, it's not what you want Tammy to do, because what you want Tammy to do is bag the goals. But he's kind of adapted himself to a different mechanism that he still gives contributions to the teams, but he just doesn't give the contributions goal-wise. He helps the team not when it comes to scoring goals. And that has been the problem of this season, not bagging enough goals. So I'm done speaking about players. I think the game overall has been prepared really well. I don't really remember Bayer Leverkusen are a good team. In fact, question to everyone: who's better? Looking at the first leg yesterday and the 2 legs against Feyenoord, who's a better side, Feyenoord or Bayer Leverkusen? I think they're two very similar teams. I think Bayer Leverkusen are dependent on counter-attack football. Therefore, if we block the counterattacks and don't leave them spaces like we did yesterday, they're a bang average side. And I think when it comes to individuality, in terms of the individuality of players, I think Bayer Leverkusen is better because they've got better gems in the team. Diaby, Wirtz, Frimpong, Adli, they've got better individuals. But I think Feyenoord play better as a team. Leverkusen is good and they play well as a team, but I think Feyenoord had more plan Bs, if you see what I mean. I think, and I know Feyenoord got battered 4-1, but I think they had better plan Bs. In a way that Feyenoord, Feyenoord beat us. And there's still a second leg to go. And they could beat us. Bayer Leverkusen could beat us. But I think they are very dependent on counter-attacking football. In a way that if we block that, and we have a defensive block, I think it's very hard for them to create threats. They were a good team. But they didn't really create much. Apart from the first chance after 3 minutes from Wirtz. And the chance that Cristante saved us. They didn't really create much. It was a very equal game. Not that we did any better. It was a very physical game. And that's why the referee stopped the game very often yesterday. When it comes to advancing onto the final, we've got a second leg to be played. And we do have an advantage. And it's very important for us to have this advantage. But it's a minimal advantage. It's a minimal advantage which we will have to defend and will defend. But they are playing at home and they just need one goal to set everything back in equilibrium. Had we scored another one yesterday, I would have been 20 times more confident. But I'm still confident. I'm still faithful. I am a bit scared because they are playing at home. We know German tifos and German atmospheres and the organization of German teams. They are going to attack. It's going to be 90 minutes of suffering. Prepare for it. They're going to attack. We have to close open spaces. They will attack. And we have to attack because with their attacks, they're going to leave open spaces. And that's where we need to try and hit them and score goals. Look, Smalling will probably not be back for this second leg. Therefore, am I supposed to believe that our defense, with one of our 3 defenders, isn't even a defender? Am I supposed to believe we're going to keep another clean sheet away from home? It's hard to believe it. Anything can happen because I think Roma this season have proved themselves to be a very good defensive side. But what I'm trying to say is, if they score a goal on Thursday, it's going to be trouble. And I do think they will score on Thursday. That's where we have to react well, and that's how we have to react. Just like that final second half and extra time, they scored a goal, we scored 3 goals. It's gonna be a tough game. I don't want to hear anything related to us playing in a final, because we've got a second leg to play, and it's a very close game with a minimal advantage. Out of the 3 Italians in the 2 Europa Leagues teams and the Conference League teams, we are the ones with a better advantage. But you know, it's a tough game. It's going to be a very tough game, and we are not in a final, so there is no need for us to think about finals, because we are not in a final. We got to conquer that final. The first half is gone. You know, yes, when we lose the first leg against Feyenoord and when we lost the first leg against Salzburg, we were all very confident, but this time it's not at the Olympico. The second leg is away. I am a bit scared, I ain't gonna lie, but I'm prepared for it and I'm ready for it, and I think it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a close game, just like yesterday, and yeah, look, if we get to that final, words cannot describe how we'll feel. To have to be playing in 2 consecutive European finals is history in the making, is sensational, is out of this world. But at the same time, we gotta win on Thursday, and we have to advance to that final. And then we can enjoy being in a final. And then obviously we have to try and win that final if we reach it. But step by step. We've obviously got Bologna on Sunday. Yeah, there's going to be a mega turnover. Look, at the end of the day, I think the lineup on Sunday, much of the lineup on Sunday will depend on the results of this game week. Because we are one of the teams which are playing last in this game week. Lazio are playing tonight. Milan and Inter are playing tomorrow, and Juventus are playing on Sunday. Therefore, and Atalanta are playing on Sunday or tomorrow. Therefore, all of our top 4, top 5 opponents are playing before us. So if all of them were to lose points, then I think we have to give it our best on Sunday and try to win. If, however, none of the big teams lose points this weekend, then to be honest with you, I couldn't care less about Sunday's game. There's going to be a massive turnover. Jose said it post-match. He doesn't care about Sunday's game. He cares about it in a way that he would love to win that game. But we are in such a position right now where we've reached a position right now where we can look back. And it's very tempting to put all of the attention and the confidence on one tournament, and that's kind of what will happen. But yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, good game, but at the end of the day, we did what we have to do. It's a great win because it's a semi-final, but it's a minimal win, so we have to be very, very careful. So yeah, look, I will catch you tomorrow for the match preview. It's gonna be very, 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 very interesting to see what I'll pick as my predicted 11. I'm going to study everything tonight. I think a few young stars will start on Sunday. And then on Sunday, live watch-along, so set reminder on that one. And yeah, if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to watch yesterday's vlog of me and my dad at the stadium. Make sure to smash the like button in that vlog. And I will catch you tomorrow with a match preview. Lazio Lecce tonight at the Olympico. Hopefully pitch conditions are going to be very bad. And hopefully Lecce, who's fighting to not get relegated, can sneak something from our rivals. I would absolutely love to see it. I would love to start the weekend with a Lazio loss. That's me wishful thinking, but it can happen. It can truly happen. So yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Click everything down below. Before you leave, smash the like button. If you don't smash that like button, you don't like Bove. And if you don't like Bove, you're to be blamed there. I'll catch you soon. Simon out.